In the quiet town of Willow Creek, nestled between rolling hills and vast farmlands in the American Midwest, life moved at a gentle pace. The sun rose slowly each morning, casting golden light over the cornfields that stretched as far as the eye could see. Birds chirped softly from the branches of old oak trees, and the distant hum of tractors echoed like a lullaby. It was a place where everyone knew each other, where stories lingered in the air like the scent of fresh-baked bread from the local diner. Emily Harper was a young woman of 22, with chestnut hair tied back in a simple ponytail and eyes that held a quiet determination. She lived in a small, weathered house on the edge of town with her widowed mother, Sarah, and her little brother, Tommy, who was just 8 years old. Emily worked 2 jobs to make ends meet, one as a waitress at the diner during the day, and another stocking shelves at the general store in the evenings. Her hands were calloused from long hours, and her clothes were mended more times than she could count, but she never complained. She carried on with a soft smile, believing that hard work would one day bring better days. One crisp autumn afternoon, as the leaves turned shades of orange and red, Emily was walking home from her shift at the diner. The air was cool, carrying the faint smell of harvested crops. She clutched a small bag of groceries, and nothing fancy, just bread, milk, and a few apples for Tommy. The main street was busy with folks going about their business, cars rumbling by at a leisurely speed. That's when she saw him, an old man standing at the crosswalk, leaning heavily on a wooden cane. His white hair peeked out from under a faded baseball cap, and his coat looked worn, patched at the elbows. He hesitated, glancing left and right, as if the simple act of crossing the street overwhelmed him. Without a second thought, Emily stepped forward. "Excuse me, sir," she said gently, her voice warm like the afternoon sun. "Would you like some help crossing?" The old man looked up, his blue eyes twinkling with surprise. He nodded slowly, a faint smile creasing his wrinkled face. "That would be mighty kind of you, young lady," he replied, his voice raspy but kind. She offered her arm, and he took it with a grateful grip. Together, they shuffled across the street, one step at a time. Cars waited patiently, honking not in anger but in friendly acknowledgement. Emily chatted lightly to ease the moment. "Beautiful day, isn't it? The leaves are so pretty this time of year." The old man nodded again. "Yes, ma'am, reminds me of my younger days on the farm." When they reached the other side, he patted her hand. "Thank you, not many folks take the time anymore." Emily smiled. "It's no trouble at all. Take care now." And with that, she continued on her way, unaware that this small act of kindness had just changed everything. Back home, the Harper house was a modest place, with creaky wooden floors and curtains faded from years of sunlight. Sarah was in the kitchen, stirring a pot of soup on the stove. She had been ill for months now, a nagging cough that the doctors said needed medicine they couldn't afford. Tommy sat at the table, drawing pictures of superheroes with crayons that were worn down to stubs. "How was work, Em?" Sarah asked, her voice weak but loving. Emily set the groceries down and forced a smile. "Same as always, Mom. Tips were okay today." But inside, worry gnawed at her. The rent was due in a week, and they were already behind. The landlord, Mr. Jenkins, had been patient, but his patience was wearing thin. "We'll figure it out," Emily whispered to herself as she helped Tommy with his homework. That night, as the family ate their simple meal, Emily's thoughts drifted to the old man. He seemed lonely, like so many in Willow Creek. She wondered if he had family nearby. The next morning brought more challenges. Emily woke early to the sound of rain pattering against the roof. She hurried to the diner, her shoes splashing through puddles on the cracked sidewalk. The breakfast rush was hectic, of farmers in overalls ordering coffee and eggs, chatting about the weather and crop prices. Emily moved from table to table, her apron stained with coffee spills. "More cream, please," one customer asked. She nodded, pouring it with a steady hand. During her break, she stepped outside for fresh air. The rain had stopped, leaving the air clean and earthy. That's when she saw the notice on the community board. "Eviction warning for Harper residents." Her heart sank. Mr. Jenkins had posted it publicly, a stark reminder of their troubles. Tears welled in her eyes, but she wiped them away. "I have to find a way," she thought. Maybe she could ask for extra shifts, or sell some of their old things at the flea market. Tommy needed new shoes, and Sarah's medicine couldn't wait much longer. As the days passed, Emily's routine became a blur of exhaustion. She helped at the diner, then rushed to the store, her feet aching by night scent. One evening, while stocking canned goods, she overheard two customers gossiping. "Did you hear about old Mr. Elias Thompson? They say he's the richest farmer in town, owns half the land around here, but he lives like a hermit, drives that beat-up truck." Emily paused, her curiosity piqued. Elias Thompson, as she'd heard the name before, whispered like a legend, but she shrugged it off. Her own problems loomed too large. Tension built slowly, like clouds gathering before a storm. Sarah's cough worsened, keeping her up at night. Tommy asked innocent questions. "Why can't we buy ice cream like other kids?" Emily's answers were gentle, but her heart broke a little each time. She lay awake in her small bed, staring at the ceiling, wondering if kindness alone could sustain them. "What if we lose the house?" she thought. "Where will we go?" The weight of it all pressed down, making each day feel heavier. Then, one sunny Saturday, Emily decided to take Tommy for a walk to the park. It was a rare day off, and she wanted to give him a moment of joy. They strolled hand in hand, Tommy chattering about school. As they passed the town square, Emily spotted the old man again, sitting on a bench under a maple tree. He waved her over with a friendly gesture. "Hello there," he said, his voice familiar. "Remember me?" Emily smiled, approaching with Tommy in tow. "Of course, sir. How are you today?" The old man chuckled. "Better now that I've seen a friendly face. Sit a spell?" They joined him on the bench, the wood warm from the sun. Tommy played nearby, chasing fallen leaves. The old man introduced himself properly. "Name's Elias Thompson." Emily's eyes widened slightly as she recognized the name from the gossip, but she said nothing, not wanting to pry. They talked for what felt like hours. Elias shared stories of his farm, how he'd built it from nothing after losing his wife years ago. "Lonely life sometimes," he admitted. Emily opened up too, her words flowing like a gentle stream. She spoke of her mother's illness, the rent troubles, Tommy's dreams. Elias listened intently, nodding with understanding. "You've got a good heart, young lady," he said, "helping folks like me without expecting a thing." As the sun dipped lower, Elias stood slowly. "I appreciate the company. Maybe I'll see you around." Emily waved goodbye, feeling a quiet warmth from the conversation. But as she walked home, doubt crept back in. Talking was nice, but it didn't pay bills. The rising tension peaked that following week. A letter arrived from Mr. Jenkins. Final notice: they had 3 days to pay or vacate. Sarah cried softly in the kitchen, and Tommy clung to Emily's leg. "I don't want to leave," he whispered. Emily hugged them both, her resolve hardening. "I'll fix this," she promised, though she didn't know how. She spent the evening poring over job ads in the newspaper, her mind racing. The breakthrough came unexpectedly, like a ray of light piercing the clouds. The next morning, a knock echoed through the house. Emily opened the door to find a neatly dressed man in a suit, holding a briefcase. "Miss Harper?" "I'm Mr. Lawson, attorney for Elias Thompson." Confusion washed over her. "Mr. Thompson, the old man from town?" Mr. Lawson nodded. "Yes, ma'am. He asked me to deliver this." He handed her an envelope. Inside was a check for more money than Emily had ever seen, enough to cover the rent, Sarah's medicine, Tommy's school supplies, and then some. A note accompanied it, in shaky handwriting. "Dear Emily, your kindness reminded me of what's important. I've got more than I need. Use this to build a better life. Pay it forward. Sincerely, Elias." Tears streamed down Emily's face as the truth dawned. The old man she'd helped cross the street of the one in the worn coat was the town's richest farmer. He lived simply, shunning the spotlight, but her selfless act had touched him deeply. He'd been watching from afar, moved by her struggles in spirit. Word spread quickly in Willow Creek. Folks at the diner buzzed with the story, patting Emily on the back. Sarah's health improved with proper treatment, and Tommy got new shoes and even that ice cream he dreamed of. Emily used part of the money to enroll in night classes at the community college, studying business to one day start her own small farm stand. Elias visited soon after, crossing the street to their house with ease this time. They shared tea on the porch, laughing about that fateful day. "You didn't know who I was," he said, But you helped anyway. That's real kindness. Emily blushed. Anyone would have done it, but Elias shook his head. Not anyone. You did. As the seasons changed, Emily's life blossomed. The house was repaired, the family closer than ever. She never forgot Elias's words, pay it forward. So she did helping neighbors with groceries, volunteering at the senior center, teaching Tommy the value of compassion. In the end, Willow Creek remained the same quiet town, but Emily's world had transformed. She learned that true wealth isn't in money or land, but in the quiet acts that connect us. And perhaps, dear listener, the next time you see someone in need, you'll pause and lend a hand. Who knows what ripples of goodness might follow.